enjoy more than sitting hungover in my office, damning the both of you.
I gotta work before you do tomorrow. I'll just be sitting over my house.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But I still have to actually work. Yeah.
Uniforms are much more uncomfortable being hungover with 30 pounds of gear.
Well, that seems like a...
lying in your bed.
That seems like a career choice.
That's true.
Issue. What you need?
Nothing.
Oh, you're reaching for something.
Oh, I'm good. Got the soap glass.
It's pronounced soapstone.
Sorry.
I'm not sure it was a pronunciation issue as much as a
Missing the
incomplete
stone.
word.
I know. I think it was in a Taylor Swift song.
I take it you saw my description for episode 12.
No.
That's a shame.
Is that what
Anyway.
you called it?
Anyway.
People throw rocks at things that shine. Is that what you call it?
No, I said Bob, Cory, Nick, Danielle, Hoppy, and Scott rant and rave about the noble world of canine law enforcement. Nick's mysterious obsession with Taylor Swift lyrics.
Of course you did.
Cory's surprising reaction to babies pelted with cheese.
Ooh.
Oh. All right, welcome to... I'm going to go back up here. All right, welcome to Schnozzcast. This is episode 14 for Monday, April 1st, 2019.
Or is it?
I don't know. Haven't even looked at my phone. Let's just assume I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
Am I? I am right. That's amazing.
No fooling?
I was going to say, it could be a April Fool's joke that we're doing this on
Could have been.
the 1st.
Well, we're certainly not going to be. You're not going to listen to it on the 1st. That's for sure.
If you're listening, it's June 15th.
2020.
Future.
Right.
So, looking around the table.
It's pronounced tablestone.
Tablestone. I see Nick, fresh from his trip to the Far East. Thanks for rejoining.
You are so welcome.
And I see Cory, fresh from his off Broadway run as George de Boeuf in Agatha Christie's 10 Millenniums. Cory, thank you for returning.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that, but
Just do a small bow and excellent.
It's good because he was initially cast as Liza Doolittle, so.
But he overcame those obstacles.
as you have to.
Backstab the lead and
That's right.
take the role.
As you do.
As you do.
Funny that he had the squirts the week before the big show.
Sometimes I have the squirts with
Issues with my butthole.
Sometimes I have the squirts with my buttholes.
Now, had you seen that one before?
I think like part of it.
Part
yeah.
of it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So for those following along, I think Cory was the first to get through all of Letterkenny. I think I've gotten through. I've saved the very, very, very last episode.
It was hard to just not like completely power through it because that's really what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can't get too far ahead if we keep on continuing watching it. Uncle Riz official.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then I just disregarded all that and went ahead and watched everything.
Yeah. So I have one left, which I'm saving. And Nick, it's been such a powerful force on Nick's life that it's forced him to now subscribe to Hulu so that he can.
Well, that was exciting. That was Nick's exciting news last night. Was coming to find out that since he's subscribed to Spotify, he gets Hulu for free.
I saw that.
Yeah, so it was really weird. People kind of say that sometimes I fall into shit and come out smelling like a rose on some things, and I was like, I had made like a very firm decision yesterday that I was like, okay, I've got Kevin, as you guys know from the last episode, Tony, who you guys will probably see on an episode in the future, my other friend, and people that I'm introducing Letterkenny to that are now just blowing through all these episodes and coming up to me and quoting things, and I'm like, I really just see it when I'm, and I like the idea that I saw it when I went up to Ray's,
Tell everybody what Kevin told you the other day.
Yeah, he told me he couldn't talk to me anymore because I didn't understand the references because he was on like season 4. I said I don't know any of that because I haven't watched it yet, and I don't subscribe to Hulu. I just like a year ago, I had this love-hate relationship with Hulu.
Came out sooner than I thought it was going to.
And I unsubscribed, and so I was like, no, like a sign of protest.
Yep.
I'm going to go up and I'm going to watch it at the bar. And
civil disobedience.
Yeah, and I literally told myself yesterday, I'm like, well, I made my peace with it, like a long sickness of a relative that's passing, and
I'm going to spend more money on my booze so I can save money on my TV.
Yes, and all of a sudden I opened Spotify to play some. I was looking for ideas for a song to play on the AMI jukebox at Uncle Ray's Official, one of the many good reasons we go there. And it was like, hey, just so you know, you're a Spotify premium member, and now you get Hulu for free. And I'm like, what? What is this madness?
All right, well, first of all, did you respond back to Kevin by saying, yeah, but did you buy your friend a canvas print of Wayne? If we're really dick measuring who's a bigger fan,
Right.
I think you lose.
Well, I mean...
Secondly, you've got to explain to me, I don't know if you know, when you get Hulu free with Spotify Premium, what do you get?
It would
just basic Hulu?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be just as if you purchased a Hulu membership.
So if I'm someone who's already like basically bent over and spent money for like Hulu with live TV and like a Showtime add-on, I'm not really gonna save a whole lot of money by.
I don't know how that would go if you would get the Hulu part, like however much you pay for the Hulu monthly fee, like maybe $7.99. That part gets
like
compensated.
$6 or $7 for Hulu.
Okay.
I assume that's what you're getting with the Spotify Premium.
Yep.
But it's like another $40-some for live TV. So I don't think it's gonna help me.
Do you have Spotify?
I do not. I would get Spotify if it would defray.
If it would offset,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like
No.
What it's gonna save me as a live TV watcher?
It'd probably cancel each other out. You might pay a little bit.
No, that's what I mean. I think I don't know, but I feel like if Spotify Premium's giving you Hulu, they're giving you basic Hulu.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think Spotify itself is like 90.
Oh, you mean okay? So
yeah, so the cost would just be a wash, But but here's I've had Spotify for years and years and years, and Tony's had Spotify. He turned me on to Spotify, so to me it was like it was thoughtless,
right?
Mindless. I looked in and it was like okay, and it let me sign in my old account. And it's like welcome back. And I'm like,
oh, that's actually pretty cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep. So I will be able to understand all the references very soon.
You're already there.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not like they just bust out new ones out of nowhere, really.
And I think I told you the other night what. So I went to Seattle. Spent 3 days in Seattle with Todd. But while I was there, he and I watched like 3 episodes of Letterkenny together. And I think I mentioned to you that he said, "I've got to watch this again because I don't understand what they're saying. Like I want to know what they're saying, but it's so quick." I'm like, "Well, you can put the closed captioning on if you really want to know." He's like, "Yeah, I could, but I feel like that's cheating. Like I need to watch it again."
Like
yeah, then you absolutely do.
Just so he can appreciate the humor.
Yeah, because
he doesn't like he's from France and doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
What are they saying?
I am from France.
All right.
Because he was
French impression, by the way.
He was in.
This is French me.
No one? Coneheads?
I am from France.
No one else? Coneheads?
Yeah, too young.
All right. Too old. I'm too old. He's in season 1, and so going back, I feel like you're with Cory. You'd be with me that if we went back to season 1, I was shocked at how much story there is, and how little jokes. You know what I mean? After season 1, they really upped the joke. Like the joke per minute content went skyrocketing.
He keeps on getting faster and faster every season, really.
Yeah. So there's a lot of story in season 1, a lot of of like scenes between. There were scenes with Derry and Katie and Wayne and Tanis and Wayne, where there's a lot of exposition and a lot of they're trying to figure out who these characters are, and they're trying to establish like where their place is in this world of Letterkenny.
Right. I think they have to show you who they are, and then after once you find out who they are.
I think for season 2 they're like, everybody should know. We're just going to assume everyone knows. We're just going to go full steam ahead.
Yeah.
So he's laughing, but I'm like, oh man, wait until you get to season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So gentlemen, we all had a challenge for today.
We had a homework.
We had homework.
Schnozzcast homework assignment.
Yep, self-imposed homework assignment. The assignment was, Nick was recommending highly a series on Netflix called The OA, which I had never seen, and Cory had never seen it. To be honest with you, I didn't even know that you were listening.
No, I thought that you were part of this.
I was listening.
No, I was impressed. I didn't know you were listening. I thought that I was in this on my own, but so I watched it. I watched the first episode. Cory watched the first episode. Did you watch more than the first?
Oh my! Oh my God! If
there was like an inhale right before that.
If anybody comes back and listens to the actual podcast,
what do you mean? No, it's going to be on the podcast.
That's what I'm saying. But the clarity from the microphone of that
the
gurgle,
camera didn't pick that up.
Not that gurgle that
right,
we just heard.
Right.
Did you see me move out of the way?
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be a projectile incident.
If you're watching and you've only seen us on YouTube or Facebook Live, this is exactly why you need to subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yes.
Because only then will you get the majesty of whatever that was.
That pre-vomit throat gurgle.
That was spicy hot ramen that I had about 20 minutes before I got here.
Why would you eat spicy hot ramen knowing you were doing a podcast?
Is that why you just stepped on a mallard over there?
Let me just gargle some shards of glass. I was like, I got a podcast where I have to talk for a while.
I was hungry and it was too late to order anything.
Oh no!
You know, there's been times that
spicy hot ramen it was.
That I've wanted chili or smoked salami before coming on the podcast. But I know Cory would not appreciate
your burps
it.
already smell like kielbasa, even if you've eaten. You could eat a slice of cheese, and it smells like you've
Cory always goes,
eaten an entire foot
why
of
is it always salami? It always smells like salami.
Oh, Cory's picked me up.
You made me throw up the one time.
It was,
What?
Because
I vomited in my mouth.
Because I love. If I'm gonna buy hummus, I'm not buying it from Kroger. I want to go to like Alamir, and I want to buy some. I want to get some shawarma and some hummus from Alamir.
I threw up in my mouth. He got in the car, turns and looks at me.
A lot of tahini.
He goes,
he's like garlic.
Hey, and right after that, it just rips a burp, and it just smacked me right in the face,
and then swirled around his head in the car.
And I immediately was, and I had to roll down the window because I thought I was going to projectile vomit everywhere.
Yeah, I was so proud.
And that's how I was like, so you had Arabic food today?
Oh, I had it like 1 hour prior.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
It was pretty bad.
You threw up in your mouth.
It was that bad.
It was amazing.
Oh gosh.
So anyway, back to the challenge. So Cory and I we watched the first episode of the first season of the OA, and we challenged Nick with, because Cory and I are big fans of Happy.
I couldn't remember what you had to watch.
He was on Sci-Fi, but I found it from Cory that they put the first season on Netflix. So you gotta watch the first episode of Happy.
You were kind of angry because I was like, no. You're like, no, you have to go, and I'm like, no, it's right here. You're like, well, yeah, the first season. And I was like, what? Well, I'm just watching the first. You're like, okay.
Oh, I guess that's where you want to stop.
Right.
The second season's going to start though. But what does Nick care?
Right. What is Nick going to do?
Season like a jackass.
Right.
And I actually did get through episodes 1 and 2.
See,
of Happy
of
no.
season 2 or you watch the 2 first 2 episodes
of OA.
Oh, did you?
I guess you're just better than me.
Basically.
Despite the fact that you were working and I was not.
Okay, let's edit that.
A few moments later,
I guess you're just better than me.
Diligently watching TV at home.
See, at that point, I think we should get the please excuse our absence, and then the Spanish flea should just just play for a couple seconds.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that should happen but are never going to.
No.
So I'm pretty impressed that we all actually did this challenge. Because it tells me that we actually.
Oh, you did watch Happy?
Yeah.
Oh,
we could do other challenges.
Yeah, we're capable of laying down
I didn't know.
and watching TV.
Did you actually think that any of us were actually going to do this?
Oh, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
You were 100% confident.
For you, yeah.
Okay, so...
Fuck.
I didn't know you were part of it. Because we were going back and forth as to what Cory's thing should be. And he's like, mine's the pickles, okay? Mine's the fucking pickles. I don't want to do anything.
No, because Bob kept on bringing up more pickle stuff. I'm like, why does it always got to be about the pickles?
They were good pickles.
No, because I remember he goes, well, I mean, Nick brought us those whiskey pickles. And you're like, are you serious?
Yeah, I had forgotten who brought me.
Speaking of which, are they still in there?
Yeah.
They are?
Going right now?
I think we should have one.
Might as well.
Yeah. It's a great combination.
Pitter patter.
2 different kinds of beer, Kroger food, cinnamon, pickles,
I think
moonshine.
Let's agree right now to look into the pop filters for these mics.
Oh, okay.
We just haven't done it because we haven't. Now that we've actually figured the sound, which if you guys starting in episode 11, if you put that on your car, you'll find that you will not have to jack the sound all the way up anymore.
Oh, you figured it out?
Fucking figured it out. Exactly. So I just put up 12 today.
Not gonna be good after this.
Did you boys see the notifications for 12 today?
I did.
So that's up. And I'll do 13 sometime this week. Oh, that looks smoky moonshine pickle. You do that and I'll do the talking. Fair.
Grab some of that paper towel.
Yeah. Here we go.
To be fair.
To be fair. No, nobody. You motherfuckers.
Oh, thanks. I'll have one, too.
Well, you didn't take a pickle.
Not yet.
You take a pickle, you gotta.
Got a fucking Clydesdale eating a sugar cube next to me.
All right, so while you guys are chewing and fucking chomping, I'll give you my impression. I thought it was really good. I thought that I was waiting for the start, but I'm like, I've been through Lost, so I can do this.
Yep.
So, thank you. I thought the move about. Okay, so what it says right now, major spoilers ahead. This is for season 1 of the OA and season 1 of Happy. They're now on to season 2 of both. So if you haven't really seen them at this point, whatever. I've given you warning. They should be fine enough.
Spoiler alert.
Maybe skip ahead another 10 minutes if you want to skip it, but this is for season 1, so you really should have seen it by now. But okay, so for season 1 of the OA, I thought it was genius the way that they delayed the credits, the opening credits, until she started to tell her backstory. I thought that gave it a weight that kind of changed everything for me. It changed how I was looking at it. It changed. I just thought it was fantastic.
Like it hadn't quite started yet.
Like all that was the build up. I had literally forgotten. I'm like, oh, I guess they're just not doing credits in this first episode. That and I really struggled the whole episode to figure out why I should care about that guy. You know, the curly haired guy.
The redhead? The younger guy?
Yeah.
Steve?
I think his name is Steve.
Yeah.
The guy who she meets originally, she goes up into this house where he's the abandoned house. He's
selling dope and
selling, right.
Mm-hmm.
And she walks up there and she deals with the dog and she takes her camera back. Yeah, he was just an insufferable jackass the entire time, and I'm like, I don't feel any sympathy for this character at all.
Right.
I'm sure it's coming. The fact that he made it there at the end to be in the house, but I thought the best scene was where she turned that teacher around.
Phyllis from The Office?
Phyllis from The Office.
BBA? It's her initials.
Sorry, whose initials are you talking about?
In the show, the teachers.
Yeah.
It'll come.
Okay. All right. Why would you do that to me?
It's just the initials. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but that's the. Okay.
You already said spoiler alerts.
Not spoiler for me. Spoiler for people who've seen the episode, not people who haven't seen the entire season.
Okay, well, it tells her character's name, and these are just the initials.
You don't understand what a spoiler means.
Okay.
All right.
But I won't say anything for it.
All right.
But the first episode.
Anyway, yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. There's a lot of story to tell, I'm sure. I thought they got off to a good start. Cory?
It was a little slow starting.
It is. It is slow starting.
And I did notice that with the credits as well, that when she got into telling her story, that's when they started to play all that. I'm like, yeah, all right, a little clever. Not too much humor in it.
No. Nope.
Kind of sad about that.
No, it's not a comedy whatsoever. It's more of a Lost feeling. I mean, were you cracking up when you were watching Lost? No.
No, but there's some, like, you know, Sawyer's like a...
Yeah. There'll be
he's
like...
going to call somebody, you know, Chewbacca or whatever.
And there are going to be moments that run tantamount to something like that. Yeah. It's more of a...
It's generally drama.
Thriller kind of, yeah, drama.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple scenes when I looked up from my couch at home to watch TV. I was like, whoa, look at that. The scene with the first scene with Steve.
It's been a long time since I've seen episode 1.
He was up in his bedroom with some friend of his. Just skips to them being butt naked in his room.
Okay.
It kind of caught me a little off guard because I just happened to...
little sex in that first.
Yeah, I just happened to look over at it and I'm like, God, did not expect that, because it like cuts right into it.
They have a lot of every now and then you'll see some nudity every now and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have that feel to it.
Because it seems like it's an ABC show or something.
Yep.
Like a Lost show.
Yep.
Yeah, it was not terrible. We'll see if I...
Yeah.
Not terrible.
Yeah. All right.
A ringing endorsement from Cory Schnozzcast.
No, it definitely picks up. For me, I remember when I first watched it, like it was to the extent, like I was telling Cory yesterday, that I didn't even remember. Like I remember I watched it last year and I liked it, but it plays to me like a movie. Like it feels like a movie. It doesn't feel like you have these episodes. It feels like it's one long movie.
That's what it should feel like.
Which I like. And but there's so many crazy things like Lost that occur that you get to the point and you're like, fucking, yeah, this is completely ridiculous, but I have to know what happens, so you want to see the next one, you know. But I remember that I'd forgotten about it. I thought it was good, but I just thought it was like a one long movie. I just thought that was it. I didn't know they're making another one. So when I saw 2, thank God the people at the OA forced a recap. And it started recapping, and I was looking...
When you say 2, you're talking about episode 2?
No, I'm talking about season 2.
Okay.
And which they just released like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I'm like, because it's like, you might like this. And so I'm like watching it, and all these things are happening, and I'm like, oh, I saw some movie that was in, you know? And then I was like, wait, I remember seeing this. Like, I completely forgot about it. And then I was like, oh, okay, this was... Because it was so different. You know how in Lost, there's like so many... You go from just, oh, it's just people on an island, to people on an island, and then something knocking over trees, and then weird ghost people showing up. I mean, it's like all over the place, you know, but it sucks you in.
Yeah.
So it's that it had that feel, and I started watching season 2 again, and I was like, oh, okay, I love this, dude.
Right.
So, yeah, but I love the premise of it. It's for me, I was like Cory. I'll be honest with you, the first episode didn't do much for me. It was like, okay. It was enough to where I was like, I guess I'll watch a little bit more, you know. But it wasn't anything where it was like, oh, this is amazing, you know.
Right.
That's how I was kind of wondering how you got onto it, because I was watching, like, I don't know.
Sometimes
it doesn't seem like
my speed.
Very, very. Not that it'd be fast moving, but
sometimes it takes a friend's recommendation who really, really loves the show, who understands like the arc and like, oh, it gets better, you know, it gets even better, for you to go, oh, okay, then I'll make you a deal because I feel the same way about this other show. Like, for every episode you watch, I'll watch one, and you know, we'll broaden our horizons together, and you'll understand, you know, how awesome my favorite show is, and I'll give yours a chance, you know.
I know you never got into like Lost, though, did you?
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, did you even attempt, or you just it was too cult for you? Like you didn't want to get into it because I was almost to that point with Lost where I was like, almost like the Star Wars. I'm like, nope, it's too many.
I wasn't against it. It was one of those things I just never made the time for to actually sit down and watch it. Watch it through.
But yeah, I know you'll definitely appreciate it, and Cory might be pleasantly surprised with the way it goes. It just gets interesting. But I don't know. I could see both ways with Cory. I could see being like,
The only two things now really they have me hooked on and stuck on is how she got her damn vision back, and why they open up the front doors of the houses. Like I thought that when they were like going to that abandoned house, she's like, "Oh, unlock your front doors." Like I thought they were like leaving for good. And then she goes and tells a story for an hour and a half, and they just go right back to their houses. So I'm like, why?
Did they go back to their house at the end? I can't remember now.
Yeah. She got done telling the first segment of her story, and they just left the abandoned house like early in the morning and walked back to their normal houses.
But you watched more than the first episode.
I got through the second one.
Yeah, that wasn't the first episode. Thanks a lot.
My apologies.
Thanks a lot, fucker.
Now Bob knows that they're going to go and sleep in their own beds. Thanks a lot. They didn't die in the house.
Oopsie.
Sorry, no, I'm in. Plus, and again, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this because I feel like it. Like, if I want him to watch Happy Episode 2, I need to be ready to commit. So.
But did it grab your interest at all?
Absolutely, yeah. There's. I want to know what the OA means. I want to know why.
Who is that actress, by the way?
Brit Marling. Is that her name?
I don't know. What's she been in? Because she seems like
I just caught her name from the credits.
Very familiar. Like to me, she's got a. What is the chick that was in Speed?
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. There's who's it? Sandra Bullock in The Net.
Also in The Net.
Okay, Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock crossed with Sandra Bullock.
No. There's like these. It's like this triangle of three chicks that kind of to me have the same feel. Sandra Bullock, the lead actress of OA, and what is her name?
I'm gonna say Michelle Monaghan.
That's her name.
I want to say that's an actress that she reminds me of.
Michelle Monaghan. I'll have to look it up.
So yeah, she's not in too much.
This is her big break, you think?
I think she.
It looks like it might be. Well, she was in Babylon.
Oh, Babylon 5.
Babylon, the TV series.
Okay.
Posthumus. Never heard of it.
Posthumous.
Sure. The Keeping Room.
The Keeping Room.
Stop.
I Origins. The Better Angels. The East.
Angles.
God damn it. The Company You Keep. Arbit Rage.
Arbitrage.
She was like
Community,
she was like a
Voice.
she was like a third, like a second or third, like a supporting actress in some big show. I forgot what it was, but
I'm not seeing it on here. Besides,
thinking of someone else that looks like her too. But anyhow, moving right along.
Yeah. Enough of your fucking show. What'd you think of Happy?
Happy, I liked it a lot. I think it had a couple different feels to it. It got off to, I was actually eating when I first turned it on, and like the first literally 5 seconds he was spitting blood into a sink, and I just had to pause it so I could finish eating. and I watched it afterwards, and it has like very much like a Transporter kind of feel to some of the moments, and like almost like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of parallel that they run. And I believe didn't one of the guys' phones ring with the same ringtone that played in the transporter because he was all hopped up on epinephrine and adrenaline. That it actually, one of their phones rang like that, and I was like,
You might have to look up IMDb trivia or something like that for him.
it did, and I was like, what is that from? And I'm like, they can't just rip that off some other show. And I'm like, I knew this felt like the transporter with what is that British actor's name that
Jason Statham.
Yes. But his phone rang like that all the time, and I think it wasn't supposed to ring like that, but it was because of what he was hearing from all the drugs he was on. That was my take, at least. And that I think those Italian cousins or brothers or whatever that got killed, one of their phones went off, and it was like balloon, 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 and it was that same noise.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So no, but I thought it was really cool. High action, high speed. I thought the concept was going to be
Stupid.
kind of annoying. Yeah.
So did I.
And but I mean, look how successful Who Framed Roger Rabbit was. And I mean, because I remember rewatching that as an adult, and like, there's a lot of adult humor to it.
Yeah.
But you're like, really? This actor is talking to nobody, and they just wrote this cartoon in. You know, it seems so stupid. You know.
Yeah.
But it worked. You know, so this kind of has that feel to it to me, and I like it. I want to watch the next episode for sure.
Yeah, I think I had a similar. I was coming from a place where I didn't really know much about Christopher Meloni because I had not watched Law and Order or CSI, whichever fucking show he was on. I knew of him, but in my head, he was one of those straight arrow guys. For him to play like an overweight, down in his luck. That one?
Yep.
It was from Crank. It was from Crank. It wasn't
Crank?
Yeah.
Jason Statham still?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it was, Crank. But why would they specifically put that?
I don't know. That's a big Easter egg.
Yep.
But for him to play a guy who was just so, and I was just kind of blown away. Like, I really don't know who this guy is, but I feel like from what I knew about him and what I'm seeing here, like he just went for broke on everything. He's like, he spent like the entire first series with like, first season 1 with like some gash in his face. There was like a giant like swath of blood that never moved. And you know how they go from scene to scene or whatever. He comes up and somehow they've cleaned themselves up or whatever. Like this guy never cleaned himself up ever. Made the same blood smear from episode 2 in there, but when you're episode 9, you're like, yeah, it's still there.
So attention to detail.
Just like he's like I want to make this as authentic as possible. I thought he knocked it out of the park. I was so impressed.
Well, yeah,
with the job he did.
Especially you think about it, and you're like, he's talking to no one.
Yeah,
there's no one there,
and
he's doing an awesome job.
The writing was really, really good too. And when he's talking to anybody but Happy, it's really good dialogue too.
So, believe it or not, it did come up with the Crank ringtone being in Happy.
On IMDb?
A couple different sites.
Okay.
So, a cell phone ringtone in the first episode is the same ringtone Chef Chelios has in Crank in 2006, which was also co-directed by one of the same people that co-directs Happy, Brian Taylor.
Ah,
there you have it.
Nice.
That's what we do here in Schnozzcast. We connect the dots and we pull all the threads together.
It actually says the show pays tribute to many films such as Death Becomes Her, Big Trouble in Little China, Full Metal Jacket, Reservoir Dogs, and The Shining.
Yeah, Big Trouble. Have you guys all seen Big Trouble in Little China?
Can't say I have.
Oh. Old school Kurt Russell from the 80s.
Can't say as I has there, Pops.
Say that I has there.
All right.
Well, so good first challenge, fellas.
Yep.
Maybe we come back next time with another couple episodes under the belt.
Yeah, thank God I was off today to be able to watch it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Yep. It being
fortuitous.
April 1st and all, 2019. Meaning that, yeah, you didn't have to work on the 31st of March. There you go.
Thanks for citing dates.
Yeah, no problem.
So, was that kind of, does that run parallel with our pick of the week? Would that have been considered our pick of the week?
Yeah.
But now this
Yeah,
is
you're
going to
now
be...
absolved from having to do